to the Player YouTube channel, and today we're going to be taking a good look around and reviewing, just for you, the Infiniti QX30. It's a beautiful looking car, but is it worth the money? QX30 comes with one standard engine configuration. That's a 2.2 litre diesel engine, and believe it or not, it's a Mercedes diesel engine that they normally use in the GLA. The QX30, is it a Mercedes GLA or is it a Nissan Qashqai? Well, I'll leave that one up to you to decide, but I think there's obviously the Qashqai running gear on this. I would suspect it was probably built on the same chassis as the Qashqai. And then it's had all the little extra bits added to it that give it that sort of Mercedes GLA feel. Although they've still used the old screen from the old Qashqai, the one previous to the new one, which is a smaller screen. Not quite what I was expecting. I thought it'd be a much bigger screen and more value for your money. Remember, these cars start at £27,000 and you can buy a Qashqai from £19,000. So you've really got to warrant that extra money. Where is it going and what is it being used for? I mean, fuel economy, for example, on this car, they claim is 43.4 miles to the gallon. I'm getting an average of around about 30 to 32. Now, as you know, I always give everybody 10% leeway on that, but 30 to 32 is nowhere near what I'd be expecting from a GLA 2.2 diesel engine. It should be much higher than that. There are a couple of modes in here. You've got economy and sport, and then you've got like a custom mode that you can use as well. Not that it really makes a lot of difference. It's very, very sluggish when you are in the normal mode. I almost instantly put it into sports mode, and that's probably why the fuel consumption is going down. Get a couple of cup holders here, a very basic, almost Mercedes style gear changer here, which has a 7-speed auto gearbox, has all-wheel drive. That's a big plus as well, and it's called Adaptive Intelligence System, so Nissan call it anyway. The actual radio and the sound system, well, you can pay an extra 600 quid and get a Bose upgrade on this. And if you really, if you want to start adding bits to it, like the extra for the paintwork and things like that, we're talking a car that's well into the £30,000. And now we're in a different territory altogether when it comes to crossover SUVs. So let's get in the back, let's have a look around, check out the comfort levels, and then, yeah, you can make your own mind up on what you think of the Infiniti QX30. In the back of the car, well, the first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to use a word I don't often use. It's called claustrophobic. Look it up if you don't know what it means. But to be honest with you, claustrophobic is what I feel when I'm in here. Look, there is no knee room whatsoever. And comfort-wise, well, these seats, they're really hard. There's no sort of giving them. Maybe it's just because they're brand new and they need a little bit of wearing in. The window height is very high on my shoulder here, and the windows themselves are really small, look. So it's just not ticking the boxes. Let's check out the heating system. Well, again, very, very basic. It's just on or off. So all the controls are handled by the passenger at the front or the driver. There's only a 12-volt adapter here. There's no USB ports. Now, if you're looking for a car and you've got a couple of kids in the back here, you need the USB ports. One 12-volt is not going to keep them happy for a long drive. Well, I wouldn't want to be in the back here for a long drive. Let's put it that way. The build quality, yes, it's built very nicely. The stitching is done nicely, and you've got a lovely large panoramic roof. But again, even the panoramic roof, you pay an extra money for that. It doesn't open, it's just a panoramic roof, and it stops right here, so you're back here in the dark. And they've managed to coat this with a velour, which when you jump in the front and we do the road test, I've got to show you, because it's like stealing one of the jogging pant legs from Colleen Rooney's jogging pants. That's what it feels like. It's just nothing classy about this. And then you've got a tiny rear window. Let's get round the back, have a look in the boot and see what you think of that. This car has been fitted with 19-inch alloys with run flats on it, which are rather nice, but they're £700 extra. And I feel if you're buying a car that is at the upper end of a brand's luxury range, that should be included. There's another thing as well which should be included. First of all, before I say anything about that, you've got to admit, it's a good looking car. It's very nicely designed and it's beautifully put together. So that's a major plus point. Get back to what I was about to tell you. Manual boot lift. I think given the market that you are trying to sell this car to, that needs to be electronic. Inside at the back here, well, there's some scuff plates here, but they're made of plastic, so the chances are they're going to get absolutely mashed up after a few months. There is no 12-volt adapter in the back yet again. I think that's a bit of a letdown, because most of the cars in this range will automatically come with a 12-volt adapter, and it's a very, very handy thing to have in the boot. Boot space wise, well, 430 litres. Strange that, it's exactly the same as the Nissan Qashqai, and it almost looks like a Qashqai boot. But there again, we're not here to compare boots. Comes with the inevitable horrible parcel shelf that you cannot get rid of, even when you try and lift this thing here, which is very fiddly. And there is no spare wheel, because obviously you're on run flats, which again, as we always say, you might have a puncture, but if you mash up one of your wheels on a curb, you're stuffed. And give you some feedback of what it's actually like to drive. So one of the first things you're going to notice when you get out on the road in this car is the weight of the steering wheel, the weight of the steering itself. I don't know whether that's because it's the Mercedes 2.2 engine is a lot heavier than the Qashqai engine, but definitely after a while it does tend to become a little bit laborious on your wrists. The car itself, well, it's smooth as anything. It's quiet, a little bit noisy on the road surfaces when you've got those big 19-inch alloys on the car itself, so maybe that wouldn't necessarily be a good option. Also, the basic steering wheel controls, it's nice, but it's, you know, extremely Qashqai again. Cruise control, very, very Mercedes. It's on a stick, which is completely different. Dials, again, very similar as well. They're all, yeah, it's ticking a few boxes, but the one thing I do love, it is beautifully comfortable. It really is superb to sit in these seats. They're well bolstered and you sit proper in the car itself. I do love this car in its own way, but you have to sort of weigh up in your own mind, where does this sit? Because is it a GLA or is it a Qashqai? It's right in between. And price point wise, well, there's a lot on offer out there at the moment, so it's very difficult to actually say, do I buy that kind of car? I'll leave it up to you. If you like what you're watching, don't forget, give me the thumbs up, smash that thumbs up, I love it, thank you very much. If you want to see more cars like this, then click up here, because that's where the drop down is on all the SUVs and the crossovers that we have filmed in the last few months. It's well worth taking a look, because some of them are really, really in depth and will make you decide on what perhaps is your next car of choice. If you want to see other cars and you want to get reminded as we're doing cars, subscribe. That's what it's all about. You've been watching Andy Jones. This is the Player YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Next week, another car. I'll let you know. Take care, guys.